Have you ever been to a car park when there are no cars in it? It's a pretty strange feeling. Now imagine you stand in that empty car park for 3 days and you never see a car come in. It stays empty. How would you feel about that?
I'm standing here in the parking lot of a strip mall in the hit 2008 open-world racing game Burnout Paradise. If the developers of this game, Criterion Games, had their way, I would ignore this.
What's up, gamers? What's up, gamers? I have a new fixation. Videos by a fellow YouTube guy, Any Austin. Any Austin is a gaming channel with a twist, as any good gaming channel should be. He makes a few different kinds of videos, but they largely all operate in the same way. They're interrogating the logic of the video game universe. In one series of videos, he is an employment enumerator, going into various games to perform employment surveys and report on the state of the economy. There's one video I enjoyed immensely, where he follows a car around for 2 hours in the 2018 Spider-Man game to see where they're going, and in doing so, he reveals the uncanniness of the simulated traffic.
Wait, where did all the construction go? Where did all the construction go? Was there not just a bunch of construction there?
This theme really crystallizes in his series, Unremarkable and Odd Things You Never Looked At. In any given video on any given game, he'll take you through a series of environments that are typically designed to be traveled through, but not looked at. And he will say some verbose nonsense that you intuitively understand because you're looking at the same strange place that he is. You're feeling the same strange feeling that he is.
It's just like a place that is a place. It's just a big giant set for something to happen in later, which I suppose is what life is.
Video game liminal spaces. Now we're fucking talking. Liminal spaces in video games are an interesting phenomenon. We are, at all times with a video game, aware that this world has been created for us. That hill and rock and tree did not appear out of nowhere. Someone put them there. We trust that everything is there for a reason. So when we encounter something that does not seem to be there for a reason,
it just doesn't have any purpose other than to walk, or in most cases, sort of ride a horse through it, right?
It's strange. It puts me in mind of my favorite passages from Sartre's What is Literature? Sartre is talking in this chapter about the difference between seeing a beautiful vista and seeing a painting of a beautiful vista. The difference for him is intentionality. You can't know that there is a motivated relationship between the lovely orange of the setting sun and the soft blue greens of the hillside. Even if you believe in a capital C creator, you can't know whether they've put this here on purpose for you to enjoy. They might be too busy with other things. How can you tell if any of what you're experiencing is real? But once you paint that beautiful vista and offer it to be seen by others, those others know it is real. The relationships are intentional. It is by design. It has a creator. So these are my favorite passages. I'm going to try to read them, but it's pretty dense, so don't be mad at me if I don't do a good job. If I fix on canvas or in writing a certain aspect of the fields or the sea or a look on someone's face which I have disclosed, I am conscious of having produced them by condensing relationships, by introducing order where there was none, by imposing the unity of mind on the diversity of things. That is, I feel myself essential in relation to my creation. For this is quite the final goal of art. To recover this world by giving it to be seen as it is, but as if it had its source in human freedom. I don't claim to understand Sartre perfectly, but what I take from this is that when we make art, we are inventing God. We are restructuring the world as though it was created for us. This implies a gap between the world as it exists and the world we create through art that is kind of haunting, and I might have something to say about it, but that's for another time. Video games do a wonderful job at inventing God, don't they? A competently made game offers a clarity you don't see much in reality. It imposes limitations, boundaries, clear goals with definitive win states. Open world games come to mind, but even Mario Kart creates a comforting order for you where everything, including you, has a purpose. Everything, including you, has a meaning and a role. It's comforting. In a way, a liminal space in a video game is doing its job of giving the world to be seen as it is a little too well. The world itself has plenty of arbitrariness, meaningless little cul-de-sacs, places where you have no means of interaction but to continue to walk through. You probably have a back garden or porch or something, and you probably barely ever go sit there because there's nothing to do out there. If you do go out there, you probably bring a cup of coffee or a phone or other people so that there is a reason to be there.
If you think about it, it's weird that we think of places like this in a game as useless spaces, spaces sans purpose, because it does have exactly the same purpose relative to its own world as a place like this would in real life relative to real life. It's just a place to go hang out.
The weird thing about the video game liminal space, though, is that we know for a fact it was created on purpose. It does not have to be there. Somebody made it, but we can't see why. We know God is there, but in that space and in that moment, it seems that they have abandoned us. How does that make you feel? Hey, it's me from the past this time. I'm currently sitting in a car park waiting for it to clear out so that I can shoot B-roll of an empty car park. Thanks so much for watching. This is just a quick one while I work on some bigger projects. I hope that you liked it. Also, if you have any recommendations for games that have a really liminal kind of vibe to them, but ideally it's not intentional. Ideally it's by accident. That's how I prefer them. Definitely give me your recommendations because I love that. I love it that God's dead. Anyway, okay, goodbye.